All right, how we doing today? So, today is actually, let me start by saying this. Today is 15 January, about 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Actually, I'm in Utah right now. I'm going to spend the weekend with my kids, and I may do some footage because I think we're going to try to go up in the mountains today, maybe Olympic Park or Ogden Lake, around that area, Salt Lake, Ogden area there, folks. But I want to get into this Dr. Dre divorce, because it's like the more I hear about it, the more it just makes me sick. All right. So around the end of the month, December, first of the year, or actually this has been going on longer than that. There was some friction, I want to say, here around October, November, and there were rumors about a divorce, and now, yes, the rumors are in fruition where Nicole wanted to actually leave Dr. Dre some months back. And there was a lot of money involved in this, a lot. And I think Dr. Dre probably didn't want it, okay? And now Nicole, this is his wife, wants $2 million a month, okay? Spousal support. And I'm thinking, for what reason? Why? And let me say this. I don't know what happened that thwarted the marriage. I will commend those guys who've been married almost 25 years. They got married in 96, so they're coming up on 25 years. That's a long time to be married in today's modern Babylon society. Okay? A long time. So I'll give them that credit. I do know people that grow tired, and they grow apart. All right, it could be personality-wise. I don't know. It could be for any reason, money, whatever. But it could be for one or two reasons, either money or maybe somebody was cheating on somebody. And there was a lot of allegations of Dre having side women and that type of stuff. Also, some other allegations that, you know, he might not be straight. Okay, there's allegations of that, and I've heard some of that in some of the rap songs or whatever back in the 90s. But that's not what this video is about. I guess, how things are right now, and $2 million a month. Now, let me say this. Dre and Nicole, they have, I believe, 2 children together. Now, Dre has other children, all right? Yeah, and he had other children before he met, Nicole, his wife. And I don't know, maybe if he had other children while they were married or what, maybe. But I know that they have 2 children. I believe the girl, it's like a 23-year-old son and a 19-year-old daughter, something like that, 19 or 20. All right, she's going to probably be 20 real soon. So it's not like he needs like child support. I'm pretty sure he's doing a good job, with that. And if, say, those kids, they decide they want to go to college or, I don't know, have their own business or trade school, he's helping out with that. And it's my understanding that he helps out with all his children, okay? So he's on top as far as that And I'm just thinking maybe the reason why is because, I don't know, maybe she feels as though she helped him build up his empire. But Dre has already had an empire. He's had one, well before he met Nicole there, all right? Now, I'd like to say this. When they got married in 1996, it's my understanding that they signed a prenup, but I was looking at some reports now in the state of California. A prenup only lasts for 10 years. So I don't know what happened there. Okay, probably what should have happened was they should have probably updated or renewed the prenup or whatever. Okay, and I want to leave you guys with a moral of the story on that at the late in this video during my final remarks. Maybe they didn't do that. Again, Dre was getting money. I think at that time, from my recollections, when I was really, really into hip hop. Let me see here. I think that they had at the time he parted ways with Death Row, and he was starting his own thing. I think around that time, because I remember I had the album, like the Aftermath, and I think from our interview he sold a million copies or whatever. It was a little different. I thought it was a great album, and I think he was trying to explore his producing abilities, and he did a little bit of rapping himself. And then later on in that around 2000, that's when he got in with Eminem, and he was making some pretty good money with Eminem. They did about 3 or 4 albums together, and I think he was making, from the reports I saw, probably between like $17 and $30 million. Okay, so he was on top of the game as far as in producing. Around that time, I want to say from late 90s to maybe middle to 2000s, and he had got with some other guys or whatever, NWA. They got back together, so Dre was getting money. But I think the thing was, let's see here, my memory serves me right, maybe around 2009, 2010, he got with that Beats company. That's the headphones, that is, in the later 2000s, and he was able to sell it for, I think, like a little over $2 billion, and he ended up getting out of that like a $900 million payout. So Dre was like almost $1 billion. So I'm thinking what they're going by is, when the 10 years were up, probably in 2006, they're probably going by his net worth back then compared to how it is now. Now I don't know how much his net worth was back then. All right, I don't want to speculate. Okay, so they're probably based on the man's ability to pay during that that scope and time that is. But $2 million a year, okay? I mean, I'm sorry, a month. He had, this is Dr. Dre, had a aneurysm about a week ago, a brain aneurysm, ended up in the hospital. And I guess while he was in the hospital, it was supposed to have been some type of burglary attempt on his home. I believe it was a stunt. It was alleged, that maybe Nicole had something to do with that, some foul play or whatever. His family argues that it might have been foul play, or he might have been poisoned or whatever. And then he agrees to do that. Now, I don't have the full details on it, but some of the details of that is she gets the $2,000 a month until they can discuss whatever divorce arrangement they're going to have, and she has to be responsible for her own security. And something about there's supposed to be like a one-time payment. So I'm thinking he wants to do this divorce sooner than later. So that's all I know right now. But I just like to say this, and again, this is my opinion, because there should be some statute of limitation on, I'm thinking, how much these women get. Okay, and more than likely it's going to be the woman that's going to get the child support and the spouse support. Yes, I understand that. If you have children to raise and so forth, a man could probably be married to a woman for 20 years. He can divorce a woman and marry somebody else. I get all that. Okay, but I do believe there should be a statute of limitation on how much a woman should be getting a month or per year. And it could be other ways that this divorce could be worked out. Maybe she can get a severance in a certain amount, a month. But it's not like Nicole is broke, okay? From my understanding, she's supposed to be a lawyer. And before she was with Dre, then she was supposed to be married to an NBA player. So it's not like she's, like dirt poor or anything like that. Okay? I don't know. Maybe I could probably see $1 million, $500,000 to $1 million. But $2 million, probably most of that money is going to be to provide for her lifestyle or whatever. And I'm just thinking with most places that you can't go to right now because there's still a lot of stuff that's shut down. Where is there to go to and to look good for? $2 million a month, you can't buy for so much. You can't go with so many places or whatever. I mean, I'm just thinking, what is she planning on doing? Like buying an island or like a skyscraper, buying a basketball team? That's the type of money you do with that kind of money. So it makes no sense. The kids are grown, so he doesn't really have any obligation to the children unless they're probably going to college, if that rule applies. And I think that's a certain cutoff right there, just depending on what state that you're in. Okay, for example, I think Pennsylvania. Okay, my uncle had went through that, although I think his daughter, my cousin, was grown. And as long as she was in college, then he would continue to support her till she's like 23. Okay, that also can apply as if you're in the military as well, or retired out of the military. All right, and you have spousal support that way too, or certain, there's a limitation to that. But anyway, this case here, I'm wondering, why does she need so much? Is it just like an embarrassment, a slap in the face? Does she feel like that she helped to build the legacy? Well, hopefully they could be able to work that out with a deal that both of them can agree on or whatever, okay? I mean, I don't know if I can acquiesce to that. I seriously doubt that. I could probably see if it was like 30 or 40 years ago. Let's say you take Bob Johnson's divorce and his wife. He made like over $1 billion, like 1.3 or something like that, selling BET. This guy was the owner of BET at the time. I think he sold it around 08, somewhere around that time. And he ended up divorcing his wife, and I think he ended up paying something like her like $400 million, $500 million. Now back then, they was married, 34 years, when they probably didn't have a whole lot. Okay, I could probably see back then, but a lot of these women now got bachelor's, master's degree. They're getting they have careers, and they're making good money. Some are making more money than their husbands. So why should maybe people have to pay that much? And I believe that they need to have some type of reform in the district attorney, as far as in child support and or spousal support in many cases, especially if you make the kind of money that Dre make or whatever, or if you make over a certain amount of money. What for? Why? And also, I believe that a woman's her salary, if that applies to her, okay, that should also be considered. Okay, and it should be able to fluctuate. And I hope that maybe Dre's on top of that stuff, and he's maybe studying the law or whatever, state mandates or whatever. Gentlemen, let me tell you something. I was suggesting this day and age, probably wouldn't say this 10 years ago, but you probably need to get a prenup, okay? Because a woman today, or today's woman, not all ladies, they can like you today, be married for a couple of years, divorce you, take you through the legal system and all that, and then marry the state. Divorce you to marry the state. Okay, and make you a slave to the state. With child support, the spousal support, when it's 10 years or more, okay? So you need to do a prenup. Second of all right, and although I believe that Dre does have a pretty powerful lawyer, I would suggest you fathers or you guys that are married that may have, you know, a little bit of infidelity, or if you guys are pending divorce, to study the state mandates on your own. You would be surprised at some of the powers that you have as a father and as a husband. Okay, you do have certain rights and powers that if you look hard for enough for it, you'll find it. Okay, and you know you can have your own edification that you need to have as well, as long even if you do have a good lawyer. And some of these lawyers don't even care. Okay, they'll just want your money and that's it. All right, because the courts, these lawyers, some are not here to help you, but the lawyers in courts, many of them are in cahoots or whatever, and they're there pretty much to tax you and take you through the money ring. It's a money ring and all that. So that's something that I'll leave you guys with. Maybe I'll do another video on this later, probably based on the outcome. And I'm thinking, again, this will probably end up being resolved or being played out sooner than later. I think that Dre probably wanted to do this for peace. Okay, I don't know, maybe if the situation of him being in the hospital and all that, realized some things and all that. Okay, but there really do need to be a statute of limitation based on a lot of these high-profile divorces. I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over again, but that's just my thoughts on that. If you like the video, feel free to subscribe, leave your comments, shares, and check out some of my other videos. And thanks for listening.